Greetings, everyone. This is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, the founder of the Digital Domination Tribe. I am going live today. It has been some years since I have gone live. I usually record in advance, tidy it up, polish it, and submit it to YouTube and cross reference it to Facebook, LinkedIn, and my other channels. But I felt the vibe and the spirit today to just go live and to just talk off the cuff or have a fireside chat to talk about some digital domination topics and some things that have been on my mind. It's October 31st. This is a Friday. This is the last day of the month. Tomorrow is November the 1st. We're 2 months away from ending yet another year, 2025. We'll be in 2026 before you know it. Another year, another opportunity. Uh, 2025 really went by very fast. It was almost like a blur because I was talking to some friends of mine, and it seemed like literally just the other day we were hearing the Christmas songs and seeing the holiday ads and things like that. And it's like it went from one holiday blink, and we're at the end of the year, another holiday season is upon us. And time is just rapidly moving. It's not slowing down for any of us. Whether it's just our personal life. A year can go by, 3 years, 5 years, a decade. Life just flies by like that. So 2025 has been that kind of year. But I pray and hope that this 2025 has been a very productive year for us. Particularly, I'm speaking to my digital domination tribe audience, those who are involved in digital endeavors. I hope that you have been tinkering and trying out some of these AI tools, whether it's Chat GPT, whether it's the Jasper, whether it's the Dolly, whether it's Leonardo.ai, Mid Journey. Um, Canva has integrated AI into its interface now. So AI has really taken off and has become a thing. And the good thing about that is the mainstreaming of AI, it has democratized the use of these AI tools where all of us can benefit. You know, Before AI, I considered myself a competent digital marketer. I considered myself not a graphic designer in any kind of way compared to those who went to school for it, but I considered myself competent enough to use stuff like Canva, competent enough to use, some Adobe tools to create some basic designs that, are functional enough for what I need to do or what a client needed. But with these AI tools like Leonardo.ai, which I've been tinkering with for about 2 weeks yet, I by no means have mastered it or even consider myself competent with it. But we have Leonardo.ai and these type of tools, which with a few um, structured prompts and some clear directions, these AI graphical tools can bring out designs which I don't want to insult my graphic design professionals, but it can pump out some stuff that is really polished and really professional, and you really would be proud to represent in your brand or your business. We know it's AI created, but it don't look janky. It don't look like, oh man, man, that's he made that with AI. It looks terrible, but it's some really really amazing tools out here for us that we can use to help us work smarter, not harder. Now, as I've always said on the videos this year, I like these AI graphical tools. I like that sometimes when I'm in a crunch and I got a lot going on and I just really don't have that time to just really design and detail some graphics or some images for myself, which I like to do. I like to still have hands on. That I can go into my AI tool, my graphic tool, and I can put in some prompts and give some context and give some detailed instructions, and I can use it to create a few memes for me because I just don't have time to create my memes from scratch. Hey, I'm gonna give you these quotes and create relevant memes for it. And this is the background, and this is the color, and this is the audience I'm trying to reach. This is the font I want to use, and boom, I can have multiple um, memes come out through this graphical tool. That's amazing. That's streamlining our process and it's allowing us to work smarter, not harder. So if you haven't availed yourself of any type of AI tools like tools this year, I would highly advise you to do it. You can start with it simply through Chat GPT and get your feet wet with that, and then you can graduate to specific tools like Leonardo.ai. It's still imperfect technology. You know, you can prompt it like you want. You can give it specific instructions, and still some of those images can still come out really looking crazy. Where you look at it like, what in the world were you thinking, even presenting that to me? So you may have to go back in and tinker with it some more, prompt it some more, give some further context, tweak it some more. Like, no, no, no. The woman wasn't supposed to have 3 arms. No, no, no. She wasn't supposed to have 12 fingers. I'm serious. Is that crazy? I mean, I've seen some crazy images come off AI. Like, humans don't have 12 fingers. Humans don't have 3 arms. You know, you have to really work with this imperfect technology, but at its best, it can do some amazing graphics and some amazing images for you. So definitely look into that. This week, um, I created 3 pieces of content. I'm getting into a rhythm of a schedule where on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, those are my pillar days where I produce content. On Monday, I do a digital empowerment, digital marketing, content creation, that type of theme of video content. And then midweek Wednesday, I do a either case study or I talk about content creation, or I talk about tools and things that are available to you as a digital person, a person who's traveling the digital landscape and are working with digital empowerment. I give you some tools and some tactics and things you can use. And then Friday, like today, this is motivation and mindset Friday, where I, beyond the tools, beyond the strategies, I go to the mindset of a digital creator, of a digital what it means to be digital empowered and to function on the digital landscape. We go into that mind state and mindsets that are needed to win and be successful. So I'm getting into a rhythm, and this week was a very, very successful week because I hit those videos each day. Monday I dropped the video, Wednesday I dropped the video, Friday I dropped the video. And what allowed me to do that, and what you need to consider doing, is you got to batch create. I'm telling you, even the greatest content creator, life gonna be life, and all it takes is one thing to knock you off your post, and you missed a day of content creation. You didn't create a video on that day, and then once you miss one day, it's easy to miss another day, and another day, and before long, you missed a whole week of creating some great, amazing content, and your audience suffer as a result of. Like today, you know, I'm being transparent. Some family situation came across my desk, and it really took away mental resources that I needed to mentally deal with it. So I wouldn't have been in the mindset to really record content earlier. I mean, I'm good now, but earlier I had to devote my mental resources to dealing with another situation. So I potentially could have missed today recording content if I didn't overcome and address that situation mentally that I had to deal with. But the good thing about today, I already recorded the video for this Friday on Sunday. So regardless of what my mind state was, regardless of what I had going on in my background, all I had to do was finish and create my title, create my copy, upload the video I already recorded on Sunday. Boom, I got it done. And I did that all this week. On Sunday, I recorded 3 videos. I had my Monday video ready, I had my Wednesday video ready, and I had my Friday video ready. And all that took me was just a little over an hour worth of work. An hour worth of work, and then you already got a week's worth of content. And then I repurpose that when I publish it on those days, and then I make it my podcast as well. So my YouTube is covered, my podcast is covered, and then I use Office clips, and it breaks down and gives me bite-sized nugget clips of each video that I publish. And so that's my little bite-sized content that goes out throughout the week. See, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder, because I know life be lifing, and sometimes you just don't have it to give to content, or sometimes your spirit has just tanked, and sometimes your creativity is not there. But if you can find time during the week, maybe that day off from work. I use Sunday because I'm off on Sunday, and I've rested up usually, well on Saturday night, and I woke up really refreshed because I didn't have to go to work. And so I pull out my laptop, or if I record from the car, or if I'm recording from elsewhere, I pull out that equipment and I hit that record, save the video. I go back into and record the next subject for the next day that I want to post, save that video. I go back into the studio, my virtual studio, and I record another video, and then I save that video. And that's a week's worth of content in maybe an hour or less, depending on the length of the videos. So that's something else that you can look into doing if you're not doing it already. That will allow you to, regardless of what happens to you in life, the show got to go on. That's how you got to think. Life be lifing, work be working, and other things be doing. But if you have your content already recorded in advance, and then if you pre-schedule it using the scheduling tools in YouTube, or you can use Buffer, or you can use Later, or you can use Facebook scheduling and other tools that have schedulers, then all you have to do after that, your mind, you're not even thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to talk about Monday? And my God, when am I going to record? Because, my work day was pretty hectic. I'm coming home with just enough time to cook and prepare. I got to deal with the children if I have to deal with the children. Wife has a situation going on. I got to sit down and give her my ear for 45 minutes to an hour, which is no problem. But, that's going to take away my mental resources. And then by the time all of those things done, it may be 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you're really not in the mood or the energy to try to record a content video. But, if you again record it in batch, when Monday come or whatever is your posting schedule is, all you doing is uploading, titling, copying, put some good copy, description, boom, hit that thing, and you good to go, fam. So batch create to work smarter, not harder. Because content creation, I don't want to say it's hard, but when you really love this, and this is what you do, and you're not just doing it in a booty kind of way where you just, I'm going to record a video, blah, 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 blah. But when you're a real content creator and you really talk from the heart, and you really do your research, and you really think about, what compelling topic is going to be great for my audience, and you're really trying to research points, and you're trying to research meat and nuggets to give to your audience, this is hard work. Some people see us on these videos, they think, oh man, they didn't do a lot, but you don't see all the background work that a real content creator does to really produce even just a 20-minute video. They may have had to research, if you're doing a case study, you got to research, your subject, pull out the bio, pull out some, some strong points about them. Then you got to create some actionable steps and lessons that you can gain from the case study. This is what I do on Wednesdays. I do my research. When I decide I'm going to do a subject for my case studies, I have to really do my research. I have to do a bio, what makes them great as a content creator. What can I learn from them so I can share to the audience what they can learn from them? What are the actionable steps that you can do? I mean, it's a lot of work to produce a 20 to 30-minute video talking about a case study. And then, motivation Friday. I have to really look within myself and see if I'm even motivated. If I could talk to you about motivation, am I even motivated? And what's motivating me right now, so I can share with you what can motivate you potentially. So, this is hard work, but when you love it, it's a labor of love. It can be done, but it's a lot of work into this content creation. So we should always be looking to streamline and work smarter, not necessarily harder. So if you can find those ways to streamline your process, please do it. There's so much technology out here that will allow you to do it. Chat GPT AI is a great ideation tool. So there are weeks and there are times that will come where you just don't have the spark or the motivation, or you can't think of a subject or a topic. That happens to me often. Sometimes I may exhaust in the moment what I think I can talk about as a digital creator. And I may say I've talked about AI, I've talked about digital marketing, I've talked about content creation, I've talked about digital landscape, I've talked about social media. What else can I talk about? And what I do is I go to Chat GPT and I plug that into Chat GPT just like I'm talking to a fellow colleague or a friend. And I say, hey, for the last 30 days, I talked about this subject, that subject, that subject, and I feel like I've exhausted my ability to talk and I don't have anything new to give. And so ChatGPT will listen to what I say, consider the topics I've already addressed, and then it may give me a new angle, or it may allow me to take out a subtopic of a topic and allow me to talk on that and address that to the audience. And so now I got a new fresh topic or a few fresh topics that I can talk about. You can do that at the top of the week, and you don't have to use AI Chat GPT to do all everything for you, but you can say, hey, what YouTube videos can I record this week? What kind of subjects can I talk to? And you give them what your audience is, what your niche is. If you're into nutrition, if you're into dietitian, if you're into AI, if you're into tech, if you're into digital marketing, if you're into social media marketing, if you're into content creation, you tell it what you're into. If you're into, you're a motivational speaker, you consider. If you're into auto tech and auto subjects, you feed what you're into, and then it can give you, hey, on Monday, maybe you want to talk about this. On Wednesday, maybe you want to talk about that. On Thursday, maybe you can talk about that. And now, instead of you just like, I don't know what to talk about, now you got a few things you can pull from that you may not have seen or thought about. And these are things that it will help you determine will be helpful to your audience. So again, we working smarter, not harder. We trying to streamline processes. So that's something else you can use Chat GPT and AI to allow you to figure it out. Because I'm telling you, man, if you create content for any length of time, there's gonna come a time where you're gonna hit your writer's block. You're gonna hit, your ideas gonna be dried out, and you just gonna be like, you can hit that record button, and you just like, I don't even know what to say. I do not know what to say. But if you use this Chat GPT, you can come into the video and have something to say. All right, so just consider that. That's another thing on my mind that can kind of help you level up and win. So that's some of the things that I wanted to say on this video. I didn't come on here with any predetermined topic. As I say, this is a Friday freestyle end of the month video where I just want to really get my feet wet, going back live again, and testing myself out because I didn't have anything planned. I didn't have a subject. I didn't have any points, like any points I wanted to break down. I just had to just talk off the top of my head and some things that been working for me and I think will help work for you. And I hope that the message is clear so far and what I'm saying is helpful and is inspiring. Just remind you, family, as I opened up the video, tomorrow is November the 1st, which means we are literally a little around 60 days or 2 months away from a new year being upon us. And I don't believe in that whole new year, new me stuff. I believe what you're doing at the end of the end of the year is most likely what you're gonna be doing in the new year and months into the new year, unless you have a radical mindset shift where your thinking changes and your approaches change. New year, new me? No, new year, same old me. If the same old mind goes from 2025 into 2026, you'll get the same results. And then you'll wait till a new year to say, new year, new me. But you don't have to wait to a new year to be a new me. You can declare right now, this is October 31st, new year, new me, just by shifting your mind and changing your thinking and putting a new thought in your mind. That creates the new, not year, but the new me, new season, new point in time now. So I believe in new life resolutions, not new year resolution. And you can have a new life resolution anytime you decide. So I just want you to, as I close out this video, this live, I just want you to think about what has 2025 meant for you. What has 2025 been like for you? What has been your biggest challenges in 2025? What has been your biggest wins in 2025? What has been some of the goals that you have dreamed of, but for one reason or another have not been realized? What do you hope and wish for 2026 to be like that 2025 did not provide for you? What will be a big win for you in 2026 that will make 2025 look like a shadow, like nothing? And what are the steps that you can take in these last 60 days of 2025 to set up a show enough knockout win going into 2026? I'm talking about when you go into 2026, January 2026, you don't go in passively, you go in victorious. You go in knocking the door down saying, January 2026, I'm here. I'm here to win. I'm here to take over. I'm here to digitally dominate. I'm here to claim my fame, claim my mark, and to make my mark and to do what I gotta do. What can you do in these last 60 days of this year to set yourself up for that kind of win? That's what I want you to think about as we conclude this video on this end of the month Friday motivation video. See, now we're going into the mindset now. I don't want to get religious, but the good book says, be not conformed, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we're talking about a renewing of your mind right now, and that renewing of your mind is going to make you brand new. And when you take the new into the 2026, then it is new year, new me. But not because it's a new year, but it's because I'm bringing a new mindset into the new year. So I want you to think again, what has 2025 meant for you? What has been the biggest challenges for you in 2025? What has been the biggest wins for you in 2025? What has been a dream or two or three that you've dreamed of, but for one reason or another just was not realized? And I want you to critically talk to yourself and ask of yourself, what could I have done differently in 2025 to make my dreams come true and be realized? And whatever you could have done differently in 2025, do it differently in 2026. We still got 2 months left in 2025. you may or may not be able to create a big win still. We got 2 months. You can do a lot in 2 months. That's 8 weeks. That's 2 months. That's almost 60 days. You still, depending on what the goal is, you still may be able to pull that thing out in the last 60 days. I watch a lot of football and I watch a lot of boxing. And if you watch boxing, rounds 10 through 12, that's called the championship rounds. And in those championship rounds, that's where a fighter who is behind, he has to dig deep within himself, and his corner, his head coach, will give him a motivational word, and he goes in and he finds out if he really is a champion, if he really can rise to the occasion. Even though he lost round 3, he lost round 7, he lost round 8, he lost 9 and round 9. 10, 11, and 12 are the championship rounds that can allow him to erase everything that happened before, because now he's in the home stretch and he can win now. He can do this thing. I've seen fighters come back in the last minute of the last round of 12th round and win it all even after they've gotten their behind toe out the frame. I watch football. I love the fourth quarter. I like a drama filled game where there's a lot of back and forth and it seems like a team is on the cusp of defeat, but in the fourth round they come back and get a few touchdowns and they get another touchdown and they get another touchdown and they go for the field goal and they go for the 2 point conversion, because they say, man, we ain't come to lose this, and maybe they tie up the game, right? And then they go into overtime, and then they find that winning point in overtime, and they won, even though it looked like in the fourth quarter, man, this game was a wrap. I've had situations I have had to learn in watching football, man. It really ain't over until it's over, because I've had games where it was the fourth quarter. I figured, man, it's a wrap. They ain't coming back. It's over. And I went ahead and turned the game off because I'm like, I know how this game gonna end. And to my surprise, I wake up the next day and I'm just checking the scores and I come back like the team won. Like, ho, fourth quarter they was losing, they was down, they was behind. How did they come back? And I gotta pull up a YouTube video to see some highlights of what the heck did they do in the fourth quarter to turn that thing around, right? So in these last 2 months, this can be your fourth quarter situation. In these last 2 months, this can be your championship rounds. So think on that wise and think of those things and set yourself up for a win. Even if it ain't the full win, set yourself up for a small victory, which would be motivational nature. And then take that motivation nature into 2026 and go ahead and knock that big win out, okay? So I think this is enough. It's almost 30 minutes. I've ran my mouth enough. I've given hopefully some actionable steps. I've given some motivation. I've given a little testimony. I've given a little fire for myself to put some fire in you. And I'm telling you, this is the digital domination tribe. I wear this shirt with pride most days. When I go out and about in my city, I wear this shirt, the Digital Domination Tribe. I wear it with pride. I'm proud to be a member of the Digital Domination Tribe. And I'm inviting you to be a member of the Digital Domination Tribe. Download our Digital Domination Tribe starter guide, which will tell you everything about us, our manifesto, who we are, what the mindset includes to be a member of the Digital Domination Tribe. On YouTube, I have a full-fledged video. It's just 10 minutes where it breaks down what does it mean to be a member of the Digital Domination Tribe. The Digital Domination Tribe, we are loosely affiliated. This is no hierarchy where I'm the Lord and Master of Digital Domination and you are my subjects. I don't ask for any monthly fees or annual fees or anything like that or anything to come into my coffers. We are loosely affiliated. You may be a member in Philadelphia, you may be a member in the UK, you may be a member somewhere in Thailand. We are loosely affiliated. We're not structurally affiliated like that, but we are affiliated and connected by our shared vision and goal to digitally dominate. And we align ourselves under that brand, the Digital Domination Tribe. So, I would like you to be a member of the Digital Domination Tribe. As I say, it's no membership, no fees, no contracts you're signing. but it's just committing to a mindset. It's committing to actions. It's committing to showing up on the digital landscape and saying, I'm a winner. I'm not just going to consume content. I'm going to create some content. I'm not just going to be talked to and watch videos. I'm creating some videos and I'm sharing some insight. I'm sharing my life stories. I'm sharing my skills and know-how and experiences. That's what it means to be a digital domination tribe member. So if you like what I'm saying, just give me some feedback in the comments. Say me, I would like to join and be a part of the Digital Domination Tribe. I will get that Digital Domination Tribe starter guide to you, and you can download it. You can read through it, and you can commit to it. We have an official badge that becomes your mark of membership. And just do your thing. Like I say, I'm not your Lord and Master in the Digital Domination Tribe. You don't have to report to me or nothing like that. But we just share this ideology and this view of being on the Digital Domination team, all right? And the tribe. So thank you for hanging out with me on this Friday. Maybe the end of next month, or maybe mid-month and the end of the month. However we do it, we may convene again and go live like this and chit chat, and maybe you can put some feedback in the comments, and I can talk to you one to one, and we can have a dialogue and not just a monologue like this. I'd be more than happy to do that. Maybe I can even answer some questions. You can, put me on the spot, on the hot seat, and maybe we can do a little Q&A. All right? So thank you, family. I may not know your name. I may not know your story, where you come from, but I admire you and I respect you if you're about this digital empowerment path. And I will see you next time, family. Oh, yeah. Check me out at digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com. That's my one-stop shop, my website. That's digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com. That connects you to my website, my blog, my podcast, my digital downloads, my ebooks, my physical books, my cheat sheets, my white sheets, podcast, if I didn't say that. You can consult with me one to one. I do offer consultations if you have a specific concern or question or situation that you got going on and you'd like to talk to me personally. There's a fee for that, but I'll be more than happy to talk to you. And I don't just talk and leave you to your wondering. I really talk to you, and I have a follow-up system, and we really try to get to the bottom and helping you move forward. So it's a very inclusive and meat-filled consultation. It ain't just a talk and I never talk to you again and go on about your business. Pay me. No, we're going to set you up to win. All right, so go to digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com and check that out. And maybe I'll be talking to you soon. All right, peace.